But anyways, all right. So we're gonna watch this video called the New Era Gacha Games. It's by a YouTuber called Genazad. Don't know. All I know, he talks about like how Gacha games are getting very sexualized, and I mean that's always been that's always how Gacha games were. But I kind of want to watch this full video. I want to see his take, and obviously I'll comment on the stuff that he talks about. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and watch.
Let's pretend for a moment that you're a normal person, so someone who likely isn't watching this video right now, and you're walking around your city and you see this ad. Would you find it odd?
That's normal in Japan.
Might find it inappropriate
but
for
yes,
children to see
people
in such a
definitely
public
will
place.
find that odd if you don't live in Japan.
Version, which arguably makes it look a lot worse than it actually is.
So it's crazy, right? Like I mentioned this earlier. Nikkei is censored in Japan, which is insane. I mean, I don't know how censored they are in Japan, because like I know they actually do have like, you know, cards and figures of their actual swimsuits and such like that. So I don't know. Maybe this is just censored like in public. That's probably what it is. But I do know that some characters in Nikkei in the game are censored. I think Rosanna was one of them. I know she has a different costume in the Japanese version compared to the global version, which I found kind of interesting because usually it's Japan that's allowing non-censorship, and then we get the censorship version here in the States. But the global version actually has a non-censor version of Rosanna, which is crazy. But anyways, let's continue.
There's some crazier ads out there for some games, but a lot of us are already really desensitized to seeing something like this. Frankly, it's already
and I'm in this video. For those who do not know, I'm in this video. At the end of the video, this is the Wall Street Journal video talking about Fate Grand Order. They focus on this guy. I can't remember his name because this video has been out so long ago, but I'm like in a maybe like a 5-second clip. They took footage of me from one of my gacha videos, which I never give them a permission on, but I never really told them, hey, don't do that. But at the same time, you know, yeah, I'm in this video.
A gambling game is legal to advertise publicly, even to children, and isn't rated.
Daigo, there you go. That's his name.
However,
that's right.
If you've been paying attention to gachas at all, you may have been noticing a more common trend: the coomerfication of gacha games.
Yep.
Making all of the characters more appealing to the eyes, removing more clothing, and increasing their proportions. And
jeez, well, I don't know what game that is, but I think that's Snowbreak, right?
Now,
it's not Brown Dust. I don't know.
This way since time immemorial, way back when during the gacha Big Bang. We've had games like Fate Grand Order and Grand Blue Fantasy near the beginning, trailblazers of the genre, both of which have some risque designs, eventually leading to some next level Coomer titles like Azur Lane.
Azur Lane, yeah, Azur Lane just has like the most insane designs, and I think they're amazing looking. And like I know they recently released a 3D waiting room or something like that, right? I think I can't remember the character that they released, but I am going to take a look at that. I do want to play that, and I kind of want to react to that as well. So Azur Lane is like insane. I don't know how they get away with it, especially because it's a Chinese game, because I know in China they don't like stuff like that. They censor the crap out of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how they're able to still do this and, you know, distribute it. But yeah, like Azur Lane is just like has some top-notch designs in my opinion. Very Coomer, I agree.
And now Snowbreak.
Yeah, Snowbreak I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be playing this for the first time on stream. I don't know exactly when, but I'll be playing Snowbreak soon.
And popular, and I'll explain the reason why. The main reason for this would be money.
I'm never gonna find him.
Yeah, money, definitely.
But there's actually more to it than that, and a huge reason that most people don't realize, which we'll be explaining over the course of the video. This has actually led to male character removal in some games, up to the insane situation of gacha players taking down an entire governmental agency, which we'll be explaining later on in the video. So what are the causes of coomerfication
that I'm interested in,
and where do we go from here? That's what I want to cover in this video, and if you enjoy it, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll be making more videos like this. I think most of us have heard the phrase before, sex sells. And
Yeah,
oh
it does.
boy,
Sex does sell.
especially in anime gacha games.
Mm-hmm.
Players froth
I agree.
at the mouth to get
100%.
their next super hot waifu and buy her bikini skin.
Azur Lane is
seemingly
insane.
profits to the moon. But I would never do such a depraved thing. Now in China, they have super strict rules about sex.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. Yeah.
Things must be pretty tame then, right? Wrong. Remember that both Azur Lane and Snowbreak originate from China.
They
are peak.
Yeah, this is insane how they're able to do this.
Simple. They just censor the games in China, but release them in their fully near naked glory to the rest
Oh,
of the world.
so they do
Even
actually
better
censor
than
it.
Genshin
Oh, okay.
Impact
I didn't know
at
that.
point,
I thought they
added
actually
alternate outfits for the standard
Oh,
characters,
really? I didn't know
Lana
that.
and Jean, that covered them up more. Well, these are the basics.
I didn't
in
know they
China,
censor
you have
Genshin
no
either,
choice but to
too.
use them. People will also often report game companies to the government if they're
I heard
twisting
about that.
something in game, and then blame it on things like it being too sexual.
I heard
get
about
the
this.
company
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
hot water with
I
the
remember
government. You can
reading
also look
about
up the
this.
Bunny Girl incident in Honkai 3rd as an example. Now, I don't even get how you're supposed to censor Azur Lane at this point. Put a whole ass trash bag over
I
them,
agree.
but whatever. Gacha games have
It's
always been
no
more
there's no way you can
male-focused,
censor
even though,
Azur Lane at
you
this
know,
point, man.
half the planet is female. However, recently we've been seeing more male characters in the average gacha, especially with the release of Genshin Impact, which featured more male characters than most other gacha games. And as it turns out, women are just as horny as men for these PNGs.
Yes.
This also led to more female-focused gacha games such as Love and Deep Space, which is succeeding because of this untapped market of games focused for women.
So I don't think he understands this, but there are a lot of female gacha players. There are a lot. I don't think he realizes that. I think he thinks that this is a new thing that's going on. No, but no, like female gacha players have been always there. They've been there. Like FGO, like you guys might be really surprised about this, but literally there are a lot of female FGO players. They exist, and they're the ones spending probably a lot more money than most male FGO players. I'm not gonna lie, and the reason why I state that is because, like, if you just look at their Itasha bags, they also have like multiple copies of their favorite servants in the game. I mentioned this before, so like, yeah, like I think female gacha players are, they've been there. They do push. I mean, not only that, they like female characters too. They really like female characters as well. I know Genshin. It's funny because like in Genshin, what he's talking about right now, Genshin Impact, a lot of the female players actually like the female characters more. So, and I understand that Genshin has more, is adding more male characters and stuff like that. And yeah, they do like them as well, but they actually like the female characters more than the male characters.
And if you thought birth rates were bad now, then how am I even supposed to compete with that? Unfortunately, a lot of men are not very happy about this kind of competition in their games.
What?
Which leads us to one of the big problems plaguing Chinese gachas at the moment, NTR. Now, if you don't know what NTR is, well, it's being cucked. Having your
Am I gonna listen to this guy say Chinese players feel like they're getting NTR'd because these male characters in the game have like relationships with the female characters? Is this literally what he's gonna say? If he says that, I'm gonna be freaking mind blown.
PNG waifu stolen from you by a much more handsome and attractive individual who probably even showers or walks outside of their room more than once a day.
No way.
Completely
Did Chinese players actually do this?
unobtainable in the modern era. But
No
where
way.
does NTR come into play? Well, one of the recent incidents was a year ago, and essentially a character in Genshin named Wander was really popular among female Genshin players, but hated by male ones because he's very arrogant and just a total jerk, really.
I have no idea who this character is.
How childish.
There were already some tensions lurking below due to having so many male banner characters introduced in the Sumeru region, which many players disliked. Tensions eventually exploded with this character's story, leading to a ton of male gacha gamers to become enraged that they were having their game destroyed and potential waifus being taken from them by this guy, a 10-year-old looking kid with a big funny hat.
No
The literal
way.
personification of sex appeal, the god of Riz. No woman can resist him. This
That's
is
crazy.
what peak performance looks like. If you're not only losing to a PNG, but this PNG out of all of them, you really have no game and you're probably gonna die alone. So a ton of players hated
Wow,
this
that
guy,
hurts.
right? Well, then he committed the worst crime of all. He interacted with a character called Naida, and she pitied him and wanted to help him. So now, he
Yeah,
had the
Naida is a very popular character. I know amongst both male and female.
yard men and the lolicons teaming up to display their hate. They
Wow.
did things like hurting animals that supposedly reminded them of Wanderer.
No
doxing
way.
Mihoyo employees, a classic. Spamming the
What
community
the
with hate, also a classic.
Dude,
Harassing the
Chinese players are
VAs,
insane.
Even reporting the character to the government, which, like, what the hell are they gonna do? Ban Wanderer with a law? Now, seeing the hatred in this one instance helps paint the picture of how many
That's
of these guys
crazy.
feel, but it's far from the end of the NTR train. So then another game comes along called Girls Frontline 2, and admittedly, the company behind it, Mika, doesn't have an amazing reputation for many reasons, possibly also having to do with the beta version of the game that, when uninstalled, bricks your entire computer with no chance of recovery. But
Jesus.
the game itself looks nice. Maybe it's got some issues though. It's basically XCOM with super high quality looking waifu characters.
I'm actually really excited
The
to play
game
this.
releases, and it's going all right other than a bunch of smaller
I'm
dramas
super
and some
excited to play
gameplay
Girls
problems,
Frontline
but
2.
hey,
I really
it's
am.
probably better
I
than
can't
the
wait for it to
Wuthering
come out in
Waves
America.
glitch. Then they put up a beta build for an upcoming patch with the character Diane. This is where all hell broke loose. She now wore a lightning pendant. Where'd she get this? It's this guy's. His name is Raymond. Supposedly in the story, they talk a lot to each other. He looks like a background character from the anime Cells at Work, and he's also banging your girl. Well, supposedly anyways. The community goes ballistic. Everyone's review bombing, content creators are memeing the game
No
all over.
way.
Raymond is probably claiming another one of your girls as we speak.
Really?
Shut it down. Shut down everything. Well,
Do I have any
supposedly
Chinese?
the
I do
company did an
actually.
apology.
I actually do have some friends who play the Chinese versions of these games. So I'm gonna ask them about this. I actually never knew this was a thing, because I don't pay attention to, like, you know, Girls Frontline 2 and like Wuthering Waves and Genshin and stuff like that, because they're just games I don't play. So man, I gotta ask him about this. I didn't know anything about this, because my friend actually plays Girls Frontline 2. So I need to ask him about that one.
Hated it. They also possibly bought reviews. The community hated that too. They even apparently changed Raymond to a female character, just removing him entirely. This
Wow.
overall irreparably destroyed the game's reputation.
No
until
way.
today, and it almost looked like the end of service for it. But
That's
fortunately,
crazy.
It seems to be coming to the West as well, so I guess we can see if the game's actually an NTR simulator. I'm ready to get cucked. Now, you may also have heard of a game called Azure Promilia. A highly
No, I don't know
anticipated
this one.
game of an amazing open world where you can explore and, oh no, concept art was leaked for a male character. The fans went ballistic on Billy, asking for answers, not wanting to be cucked once again. There's so much cucking going on over there. It's no wonder
That's
there's well over 1 billion
insane,
people
dude.
At this point. Well, then the company had to make a formal statement to assure them no male characters would be added to the game to stop all of the rioting. As you can see,
Wow.
this appears to be a common issue in the gacha community in China, and now many games are afraid of making male characters in general for their games. Not only
That's
do they often
crazy.
sell less, but now they can get you into hot water with the fans. Male characters.
So
in
male characters shouldn't exist for any Chinese gacha games or any Chinese video games ever, huh? Wow.
games are dangerous waters. Just when they were starting to get introduced into games more.
I thought I would never hear those words. Male characters is in dangerous waters. Holy crap!
But where should the fans turn to? Please.
Anyone remember the time where Genshin? Oh, was that this? Wait, is that what that? If that was, is that why the Genshin community was in an uproar because of like the voice actors were fighting against the game or something like that, or that's something completely different? Like I do know there was some like Genshin, or I know like there's like voice actors. There's always like this voice actor drama that fight against like the company, and then they lose their job, and then they get replaced and stuff like that.
Please, God, I need a game with a self-insert character and only hot women. No disgusting men that can see them except for me. Welcome to our Coomer Messiah.
Blue.
Snowbreak
Oh, I was gonna say Blue Archive.
We have hit literal peak design and story, the Mona Lisa of gaming. A game so shameless, it became renowned.
I'm super excited to play this game. I'm gonna be playing this game on stream. I have not played it yet. I have it downloaded, so I'll definitely play this on stream. I'm super excited to play this one.
For its absurd outfits and its groundbreaking story of you canonically starting a harem and also canonically marrying multiple of these girls. It's part of the lore. It's completely natural. Meaning, if
She's
you
hot.
don't marry multiple girls
I
at the
saw a
same
video
time,
already of
you are
her. I
literally not
what
playing the game correctly. But the game wasn't always
I'm
like
playing the
this.
wrong game,
Originally,
man.
it was just a third
Oh, is this how the gameplay is?
game with some waifu characters, and it was steadily going towards end of service. It was like the Titanic. It had run into an iceberg, it was leaking money every single month, it was dipping below $1 million a month. Things weren't looking amazing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Around in April, they had a genius idea. Let's make the ultimate Coomer game. Remove 70% of clothing and create a first-person dorm system.
Oh.
Dear God,
I never knew that.
Scantily clad wedding costumes? Check. Dorm systems where you can interact with the characters in a first person and even massage them? Check. Snowbreak reported that 70% of its revenue is from PC, and the July mobile game revenue tracker estimates
Wow.
$7 million.
This is called Snowbreak.
Every month now. Snowbreak became so infamous, it's become a common term to describe games going the Snowbreak route, when they start to go full Coomer. Gaming,
So yeah, this is basically where Azure Lane took their idea of the 3D lobby, right? I think that's where it was from.
is saved. As you can see, there appears to be a lot of popularity recently with
Nornium. This
Coomer
is a
gachas.
this is a
We
game
even
called
have a game
Nornium.
called Nornium coming up, and holy, what a cultured game! They even named their beta
Jesus
4-play
Christ.
test. And yeah, this
4-play test.
Thanks, Gaben. So China not only seems to have an underlying dislike for female characters in gacha games, but also loves scantily clad female characters. So what kind of games do you think we'll be seeing more of in the near future? Now let's move a bit around Asia and now focus on South Korea. There's one big incident I wanted to go over that I teased earlier in the video. How degenerate
South
gacha
Korea?
players defeated
Wait.
the government. June of last year, 2023, South Korea began
Oh, I heard about this.
down on sexual
Yeah. I heard
the
about
game
this.
rating and administration.
So yeah, the game rating company in South Korea, GRAC, they were basically like they basically aren't really doing anything, and I think he'll explain it, but like they're basically using the government's money on like Bitcoin or something like that, and the reason why the government found out about this was because of Blue Archive. So I think this is going to be a funny story.
GRAC is a government agency that essentially rates games and determines what ages are allowed to play them, similar to the ESRB in the West. For anyone who doesn't know, porn is banned in South Korea. However, they have a ton
I didn't know
of
that
other
actually.
things that can
Really,
be
I didn't know porn was banned in South Korea. Did not know that.
over-sexualized, such as gacha games. Now, most gacha games are rated as being a 12+ game or 16+, depending on iOS or Google Play stores, such as Azure Lane or Goddess of Victory Nikkei. When games are 18+ or for adults, they're unable to do advertisement or any promotions on the App Store, and they're much harder to find, and as many know, marketing is everything. Now comes the star of the show, a game named
Blue Archive.
a 15+ teen rated game that has a very dedicated community.
Yes.
We're going to have them stuck.
Blue Archive senseis are very dedicated. I can 100% agree on that. I'm very dedicated to Asuna.
In the wall. Yeah, and so, I heard that idea and I said, you know what, you can be the employee of the month.
Originally a Nexon game from Korea, it became a worldwide phenomenon, especially in Japan.
Yep.
I wonder why. So dedicated that at the recent Comic-Con, which is essentially Japan's Comic-Con, they had more Blue Archive art and booths.
I can prove yes. This is a thing. Like I was at Comiket, literally all the booth that I saw in that section, all Blue Archive. And what was really cool is that it was organized in characters. So that it was so easy for me to find an Asuna row. So yeah, this is true. This is fact. I can prove this. I also still have the magazine that has the map, so yeah, I can prove this. Also, I have video footage.
Than any other by a large margin. Essentially, the plot of the game
And they
is
throw
you're
me a Nendo
sensei,
for a figure.
teacher,
Yep.
at a school for a bunch of super-powered girls that police the city and deal with threats like gangs.
But by the way, like it's that's Blue Archive, right? When FGO first came out, that it was FGO that did that. Like FGO took over that. It's like even Toho did that at one point when Toho was super popular. Like whatever is like super popular, they'll have like their own section of just doujins of that work. And again, this year it was just Blue Archive. Blue Archive was just so big in Japan that they had to give like an entire section. Like FGO had its own section too, don't get me wrong, but Blue Archive was the big one for the most recent Comiket.
Or terrorism. However, some of them are dressed a bit, well, you know.
Yeah, no.
Oh, also, almost all of them are canonically under the age of 18. Like, they tell you specifically.
They
Some
do,
aren't
actually.
even old enough to play their own game. Great. Thanks for leaving no room for doubt on that one. Now, the important thing is, the GRAC set their sights on Blue Archive, which would end up being their biggest mistake. The senseis of Blue Archive will die for their students.
It's
So
true.
they made the decision to change the age rating to 18 plus because of some of the character designs, essentially making it an adult game. And it wouldn't be able to do much promotion either. But what the GRAC didn't know is that the senseis were united and
They
would
were.
not take it. The senseis, only 5,489 strong, signed a petition to the South Korean government accusing the GRAC of unfair treatment and corruption and asking them to be audited, anything to aid their students. What they didn't know is they were exactly right. The National Audit Office investigated the GRAC and found that not only were they exaggerating work done and mislabeling games' ratings to pretend to be working, but there were also accusations of embezzlement. It turns out they were using government funds for Bitcoin mining.
Here it is.
The rest. Blue Archive superfans had accidentally uncovered a corrupt government.
That's
fraud
crazy.
agency.
Blue Archive senseis accidentally uncovered like some huge government like scandal. That's insane.
People were fired and prosecuted, and the entire agency's business operations were actually suspended for it.
Oh.
The senseis
Hank
had
was there.
taken down
That's cool.
the literal rating board for games in their country temporarily. A game I used to play an insane amount of, Epic
Oh,
7
is
at one
Epic
point
7 still a
was
game?
trying
I
to
don't even
censor
know.
some of its characters, or its age rating was actually going to be raised. So, yeah. I guess that rating board was getting in the way of the designs people really craved. And do we even need to discuss games like Goddess of Victory
Roseanne.
Nikke? We all
She's
know
my favorite
who and
character
what
from
these
Nikke.
games cater to, and they're all absurdly popular. Finally, something I wanted to mention is even the most popular gacha games made by HoYoverse have begun to embrace this behavior. You can't tell me that Honkai Star Rail, Jade's trailer, wasn't literally just her as a dominatrix dommy mommy with a whip and men on their knees before her sweating. And now with Yun Li, they non-stop focus on her feet in every single shot they can. Even
didn't know that.
ult animation shows them for no reason at all. There's no
Yeah,
way
I
it's
just
a
don't pay
coincidence.
attention to
Then look
Honkai.
at Zenless Zone Zero.
Yep.
Zhu Yan's trailer, and a
That
third
butt.
of it is focused on her massive ass. And then also Jane Doe's butt jiggles when she walks. And also look at Nicole. I mean, just
They
her
nerf.
design
I know they
overall
nerfed this.
really
I was so sad that when
even
they
the
nerfed
largest
this.
Gacha companies' games are embracing the Coomer audience more. Now, what do all these incidents have in common? They all contribute to having games become
Oh, yeah,
more
this is the most
sexualized
recent
and
trailer,
catered
wasn't
towards
it?
The Coomer
I think.
audience. These were just some examples.
Oh no, that's
There's
Snowbreak. Never mind.
honestly
I
plenty
thought that
others.
was
However,
the most
there
recent
is one
ZZZ
game
trailer.
that transcends all of this. It goes beyond to another plane. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks a bunch for
That was
watching.
fun.
Please
I enjoyed
consider
that.
subscribing to the channel, and I'll be making more videos like this. And I hope to see you next time.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. That was really cool actually. Oh man, like I do remember reading upon that the whole South Korea government thing because of Blue Arc, but I completely forgot it was because of Blue Archive, And yeah, I'm super excited to play Snowbreak. I can't wait to play Snowbreak again. I have that downloaded and ready to go. And I'm also gonna be playing Azur Lane, not just because of everything, but I want to play that 3D lobby thing. So I'm excited for that one.